back to my yoga stretching series. My name is Rachel. Again, since you guys have been enjoying these yoga stretching videos, I'm continuing to film more for you. So let me know in the comments what else you would like to see. Today is going to be all about the lower body. So we've had different videos where we broke it up by individual muscles. We had an upper body, a full body, but today is just going to be general for the lower body. So this is going to be great after leg day, right? If your legs are super sore or even immediately after that workout, or just any time that you would like to stretch that lower body a little bit more. So let's begin in our child's pose. Bring your big toes together and your knees apart wide and your forehead down. Stretch those arms out in front and just take a couple deep breaths here. Settle in, see how your body's feeling today. Now let's go into a downward facing dog. Plant your hands shoulder width, tuck your toes, lift your hips up. Now maybe you bend one leg at a time if that feels good. Usually that helps to stretch the calves, hamstrings, kind of pedal out the feet a couple times each side. And then when you're ready, you can start to push the heels a little closer to the floor, shoulders away from the ears, and push the chest back. And don't worry if your heels don't reach the floor today or even right away. It's going to take time for the backs of the legs to open and to get those heels closer to the mat. Lift your right leg up and step in between your hands for a low lunge. So drop your left knee down and untuck the toes. Make sure your right knee's over your ankle and then start with the hands on the thigh. So you can kind of sink into that lunge, stretching this left hip flexor, the psoas, the front of that left hip. You can keep the hands here or maybe lift your arms up and gaze up, just a little back bend. Lower your hands to the floor, or if you have two yoga blocks, you can use your yoga blocks. Half splits, straightening the right leg and flexing the foot. Now, not sitting all the way back on that left foot. The left hip is over the knee, okay? Now, if you're having a hard time getting that right leg straight, sometimes you have to wiggle a little bit forward. Just depends how long your legs are. And then we fold over that right leg. Half split, stretching into the hamstrings and calves. And just noticing how this right side feels. Now, put that right foot down and rebend the leg, but I want you to walk your right foot all the way to the edge of the mat. So just move it over a couple inches so you can bring both hands on the inside of the foot for lizard pose. Your knee's still over the ankle, your toes are pointing forward, it's just a little wider. Now, if you can, try to come down to one or two elbows, or if you have blocks, you can do that too. Keep the left leg relaxed, and you should feel this mostly in that the right outer hip, but you might also feel it in that left hip flexor still if that's tight. For me, I mostly feel it right here in that right outer hip. So just breathe, holding here in our lizard. Now come up to the hands. We're going to do one more variation here. Take your right foot, turn it out to the side 45 degrees. So my knee is still over the ankle, but my knee's pointing the same direction as my toes. Plant your left hand down and twist, peel the right arm back. And a lot of you might stay here and still drop those hips down. This is a great stretch. If you can reach, maybe you grab that left foot with the right hand, but I want to pull it in for the quad stretch. If I was going for the back bend, I would kick it away, but I'm going for the quad stretch. So I'm going to use that hand and pull my left heel as close to my glute as I can, but keep rolling that right shoulder open and looking either to the side or back there. Now let go, and let's go back to down dog so we can do those stretches on the other side. Lift the left leg up, step it right between the hands, and drop the back knee down. Now if it doesn't make it up there, scoot it up there. Use your hand, right, to wiggle it up there. And bring your hands up to the thigh. Left knee over the ankle, sinking into that right hip flexor stretch. Keeping the hands on the thigh, or lift those arms up and gaze up, just a little back bend without backing out of the lunge. Good, hands to the floor or to the blocks, straightening your left leg for your half splits. Remember, don't sit back on the foot, keep your hip over the knee, because over time, we might work towards those full splits, right? And we'll keep moving that foot further and further forward. So folding over that front leg in your half splits, and noticing how the left side feels. let's rebend the leg. Walk your left foot to the side for lizard. So both hands on the inside of the foot, or one or two elbows or blocks. So first one, we're going straight down. The toes are still pointing forward in regular lizard pose, and we're focusing on this left outer hip stretch. Take a couple more deep breaths here before we switch to that second variation. Press up to your hands. Now for the second variation, we turn the left foot out 45 degrees. Plant that right hand down and twist, peel that left arm back, and maybe hold there, sinking those hips down, or maybe catching a hold of that back foot and pulling it towards you. Left hand to right foot, stretching the quad of that back leg, pulling the heel in as close to you as you can. Now as you release that, again, let's go back to our downward facing dog and reset. Next, we're going to be coming into half pigeon or one leg pigeon. Lifting the right leg up, bend the knee as you bring it forward, place it basically right behind that right wrist. Slide that left leg back and square your hips. Right knee directly in line with the hip. If your hips are up pretty high, you can use a block or a towel underneath your hips there and fold forward. If your hips are all the way on the floor and they're square and you're not leaning to the side, you can start to wiggle this foot a little more forward. Maybe just a couple inches, maybe at most 90-degree angle in the knee joint, shin parallel to the front. If you move it up there and it bothers your knee, don't do it. Bring that foot back in, okay? If you do move it up there and it feels fine, make sure you flex the foot. That will also help protect your knee by keeping those muscles active. And then we fold forward, and again, you should mostly feel this one in that right outer hip. So make those adjustments, right? And you can try it both ways with that shin. But over time, you'll get to here. So don't force it if it's not there yet. If even keeping the foot close to you is really uncomfortable and you're up too high and it's hurting your knee at all, you can lay on your back and do a figure 4 or a lying down number 4 stretch. Because this is not about the knee, this is about those hips. If your forehead doesn't reach, you can also put blocks or pillows underneath there as well. Try to find a spot where you can relax, right? Where you can enjoy the stretch. There's a fine line between a good deep stretch and pain. And for every person, that's a little bit different. So we have to learn to find that in our own bodies. Walk the hands in, go back to down dog, and then we'll switch sides. So reset in your down dog, and when you're ready, lifting that left leg up, bring it forward, and take a moment and set it up. This side might be different, okay? Square your hips, make sure the weight is even, you're not leaning to the left. Maybe that foot's staying close to you, in which case your foot can just be kind of relaxed there. But if you do move it forward, flex the foot. And again, listen to your body. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as the other side. If possible, yes, we want to do the same thing, but you might have a significant difference in the tightness from one hip to the other. So make your adjustments and find a good spot to fold forward where you feel that nice deep stretch in the left hip, but no pain or discomfort in your knee. Walk the hands in. One final down dog. Last down dog for this particular yoga video. So push into those heels again. And then we'll have a seat. Open your legs out wide for a seated straddle split. So face whatever way you can so you have enough space. Wiggle those legs apart. Flex your feet. Then take your right hand, grab your leg or your foot, and reach your left arm over your ear, creating a little bit of a side body stretch, looking under that armpit to the ceiling. Now feel the difference. I want you to square your torso and fold over the leg. Now bringing your nose to your knee. Very different stretch than the side body stretch, right? Now it's a forward fold. Good, let's come up and do those two variations on the other side. Reach up and over first, create that side body stretch, and look up towards the ceiling under the armpit. Now fold over the leg and bring your nose towards the knee or the shin on this side. Good, as you come up, now we'll fold forward down the middle. If you're having a hard time just sitting up tall here, you can bring your hands behind you and sit up straight and just work those legs apart. Or just crawl it a little bit at a time, right? Maybe a couple inches, couple feet, maybe all the way to the floor. But keep your feet flexed with those toes going straight up to the ceiling. It's going to give you a more active and a deeper stretch. And if you relax, it's not that you're not going to get a stretch, you will. But in yoga, traditionally, we like to keep the joints safer, right? So we engage some of the muscles a little bit. Walk the hands in. We're still going to stretch the inner thighs, but by coming into a butterfly. So bring the soles of the feet together. Pull your feet as close to as you can. Hold on to the ankles. Use your elbows. Press those inner thighs a little further down, and then you can fold forward. And you can keep the hands here with those elbows helping to press down, or you can walk your hands forward. Think of reaching your face past your feet. Not just towards your feet, but reach past your feet. And you might feel that stretch in your back as well, besides the inner thighs. Walk your hands in. One more seated stretch, extending the legs now out straight. Flex those feet, sit up tall, lengthen your spine, and fold. Using a strap if you have it, or grabbing your legs, your feet, whatever you can hold on to, keeping those feet flexed as you fold forward. Slowly come up. We're going to lay on our back, and now we're all going to do lying down number 4. I mentioned it as a modification for pigeon earlier. Right ankle crosses over the left thigh. Now, if your hips are especially tight, you might just lay here and use that right hand and push it away. Or you're going to reach your right arm right through the middle and your left arm around and either grab the hamstring, or if you can reach, go for the shin instead on the left side. Flex your right foot. Use your arms and pull it in. Your left leg, you can let that relax because that's not the side we're stretching. But flexing the right foot here. And then now we're opening up that right outer hip. Good. Switch sides. Left ankle across. Reach through, grabbing on, taking any variation that you did on the first side, repeating that here. Flexing the left foot and then using the arms to pull it in. Stretching into that left hip a little bit more. Good, let's release. Now extend your left leg leg long on the floor. You can let it relax. Lift your right leg up. Grab onto your hamstring, calf, or ankle, or put a strap around that right foot. Flex the foot and pull it towards you. Stretching into that hamstring and calf on the right side. Now from here, keep your left leg on the floor. Bend your right knee and hug it in. Open your right arm like a T, spinal twist. Use your left hand to twist your right knee across your body as close to the floor as you can on the left. Turning your gaze, looking to the right if that feels okay in the neck. You're equally trying to press that right knee down and the right shoulder down. So you should feel a nice stretch in your back here too. Now let's come back to center. Hug both knees in for a moment. And switch sides. Let your right leg relax completely on the floor. Lift the left leg up. Start with that hamstring stretch. Both hands. Hamstring, calf, ankle, or use that strap. And flex your left foot and pull it straight towards you. Now hug that left knee in. This is our final pose. Open up the left arm like a T and use that right hand to twist the leg across your body, taking your spinal twist to the other side, looking to the left if that feels okay on the neck, trying to keep that left shoulder pinned down as best you can while using that right hand to twist that left knee across. Let's bring everything back to center. Hug both knees in. Rock and roll 2 or 3 times up and down your spine. And when you're ready, you come up to seated. Hopefully your lower body feels nice and open after that stretch. Remember, save these videos, come back to them, repeat them. They're great because over time you'll see your progress and you can always move a little bit deeper into the stretches. Again, if you have any special requests, let me know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends. You know what to do. You can also find me on Instagram at Rachel_yoga. I hope you guys have a great day.